Excellencies and distinguished guests, good morning. It's my privilege to join you today at this inaugural summit in Abu Dhabi. Indeed, this initiative is critical and it reflects the UAE's dedication to shaping the future of technology, as well as the future of how technology integrates with law, regulations, governance, and ultimately humanity. First, I would like to begin by thanking the UAE Public Prosecution and the Advanced Technology Research Council for conveying this very important platform. It is really inspiring to see such gathering today, committed to ensuring that innovation is balanced with ethical foresight and legal resilience. At the Technology Innovation Institute, our work and our research live at the very intersection this summit was created to explore, which is where advanced research and technologies meet with social responsibility. Today, after exploring how emerging technologies like artificial intelligence and quantum computing are reshaping our world, I will highlight how TII is proactively addressing the risks these technologies can present. I will also touch on the role of ethics, law, and cross-disciplinary collaboration that are needed in order to build a secure and equitable tech future. Let's talk about the transformation or transformative power of advanced technologies such as quantum and artificial intelligence. Quantum is where computing is not about zeros and ones anymore. It is about qubits, which can be 0, which can be 1, and in a superposition state, they can be anywhere in the middle. So there is an infinity of possibilities where they can be. And the implication of this is we will have accelerated computing that we couldn't have imagined a dozen of years ago. What this means is that we can solve problems much faster than before. We can find solutions to very complex computational problems. We can design drugs much faster. We can fold and unpack and pack proteins much faster. We can find new material faster. And we can run our AI system also in an exponential way. At the same time, AI is no longer about support vector machines and Bayesian networks. Today, you see large language models. You see models with multimodalities that are trained on billions of parameters. You see AI that is making it into agents. We heard before about robots and physical AI. So AI today has reasoning that can allow me to make a decision-making without thinking much, and in some cases, actually, it supersedes the human intelligence. These technologies, without a doubt, have enormous potential. However, they don't come without a risk. Think about AI. One, AI can pretty much be biased, and the output of it will not be the output that should come from a model. Second, AI at the end of the day is a system, software, hardware. It comes with its own vulnerabilities, and in addition to that, it comes with vulnerabilities that are specific to models: poisoning, reversing, exposing privacy of data, exposing confidentiality of data. Now everybody is talking about agentic AI and AI agents. Those agents, if they don't embed the right security measures, they will get root access to our systems, and the rest was history, and so on and so forth. Now, moving into the risks of quantum computers with all the benefits that they will come, with all the accelerated computing that they will come with all the innovation that they promise, they threaten our security at its very core. In fact, quantum computers, they will be able to tackle a complexity class which today we rely on to harden or to provide the hardness of our public key cryptographic systems. Meaning that the algorithms that are used today in order to put cryptography on our digital certificates and our VPNs and how we exchange keys in order to start talking securely, this will be broken. And in fact, this is the first quantum algorithms that we know of that will break public key cryptography. So 70% or 80% of the algorithms that we use today to secure our data and communications will be broken. In addition to that, tools that can disrupt the stability are tools that we rely on them to protect us today. So in order to push innovation forward and not to take few steps back every time that security has to be considered in those innovation or in those advanced technologies, we have to see innovation through a security-first lens. We have to put security in the design of those systems and in the design of the solutions that are based on these technologies. I'll give you here some of the security solutions and the security by design that we adopt in the Technology Innovation Institute. One, as I said, we design systems that are secure by default and private by design. Second, we have been looking into what a quantum-safe nation means. We embrace the benefit of what quantum computing will bring. In fact, we today host the first quantum computer in the Arab world and in the region. We are looking forward to all the advancements that we can make with it, but at the same time, we are developing quantum-safe technologies. We have developed what we call a library or a set of software and hardware that provide post-quantum security and post-quantum cryptographic algorithms. We are looking into quantum communication devices and quantum communication networks. We have put together the first optical ground station for long-range quantum communication, and we are actively participating in standards for quantum safety, for quantum communication, and for quantum or for post-quantum cryptography. We have also developed the Linux, if you will, of the quantum systems, and we have released an open platform that is called Kibo that will enable individuals, developers, and scientists to develop quantum algorithms that are hardware agnostic. So the question now becomes, how do we assign accountability for decisions made by AI agents and by autonomous AI systems? And with this, I would like to turn to the critical importance of ethics and governance in the age of autonomy and AI. Ethical frameworks must evolve with technology, and they must not lag behind. At the same time, they should not be a hindrance against advancing technologies, against innovation, and in particular, against the adoption of these technologies. From the AI side, we need AI systems that are explainable, decisions that are accountable, and outcomes that do not reinforce bias, and also that do not lead into the leakage of data privacy and data security. This requires, of course, greater algorithmic transparency, clearer liability structure, and more representative training data. At a global level, there are multiple efforts that are leading that way. There is all the ethical working group that are happening under the SC42 as part of the ISO efforts. There are other frameworks such as the OECD AI principles, UNESCO's AI ethics recommendation, which provide a very strong foundation for responsible governance, grounded in human oversight, fairness, and inclusion. The UAE has also developed a national AI principles and ethic frameworks. It's promoting transparency, fairness, and non-discrimination. It reflects a serious commitment to aligning innovation with public trust and is already embracing AI with many strategies across many government entities and across the private sector. And I would say that it is one of the leading countries when it comes to that. In addition to that, a point that is very important is all the regulatory sandboxes that are allowing technology providers to test these technologies before going into large-scale deployments. Since we were speaking about blockchain and cryptocurrencies in the previous session, there is a concept that I really like there, which is cross-border trust and interoperability. Alignment and finding those standards on AI, on quantum, and other advanced technologies must extend beyond borders. It must extend across borders. We need interoperable standards. We need anticipatory legal frameworks, particularly as AI and eventually quantum in the next coming years become more embedded in critical infrastructure and domains like healthcare, law enforcement, defense, and finance. At TII, we are putting these in practice, embedding fairness and privacy into the design of our systems from the start and at the design stage. For example, to give you just a simple example, while we develop our large language models, while we release the Falcon series through all its revolution, we have put another emphasis into privacy-preserving machine learning, into how we keep privacy of those models, how we keep privacy of the data that is used to train those models by enabling distributed learning, by enabling multi-party computation to be used for federated learning systems. We have put extra emphasis on the development of hardware-accelerated fully homomorphic encryption to be able to still process the data and make meaningful use while it remains encrypted. Security-first innovation also means cross-disciplinary collaboration in addition to the cross-border collaboration. It means emphasis on regulatory sandboxes, which eventually means working with regulators, law entities, as well as policymakers in order to put together the laws that are needed, based on that to put the regulations and the executive regulations that are needed, and then end up with the policies that follow these. Cryptographers must work with policy experts, engineers must listen to ethicists, developers must engage with regulators, and only through this type of collaboration we can anticipate misuse, close governance gaps, and build trust across borders, across disciplines, and embrace technology and the benefit at its full. And as we consider the path forward and the need for global collaboration, it is important to recognize those already taking steps in the right direction. The UAE is indeed uniquely positioned to lead, sitting at the confluence of innovation and the rule of law. At TII, we have started making steps towards that, and we are proud to be part of this ecosystem, developing technologies that push innovation forward while remaining grounded in ethics and in responsibility. We already partner with global universities, research institutes, and industrial players, defense agencies, and standard bodies to advance technologies as well as the governance that are related to them. But we do realize that we need to do more. We realize that we need to collaborate to do more because securing the future is a global mandate. We welcome collaboration from all corners, technical, legal, civil society, and beyond. Before closing and looking ahead, one thing is very clear. We heard it before. I would like to repeat it now. The future will be shaped by those who act now. Technologies that we are creating today have their impact today, and they will either build a secure, just, and prosperous world and future, or they will expose us to risks, to security gaps that we are not prepared to manage if we don't start to act yesterday. The choice is ours, and the choice is clear. Today, all of us have a fantastic opportunity with this summit in order to imagine, to discuss, and develop frameworks that make security and ethics the cornerstones of a tech-driven future and the cornerstone of how we decide to use this advanced technology. With this, I would like to thank you for listening.